Hi, welcome to Drawing One, Hybrid Edition. I'm Emily Sheehan. I'm the instructor for this course, and this short video is just going to teach you a little bit about navigating our Canvas page so that you can find the information you need to succeed in this class this semester. All right, give me 1 minute to switch to screen share and we will get started. Okay, here we are. So what you're seeing now is the home page for the Drawing One Canvas page. We're on instructor view, so I might have a few extra buttons over here than you have, but this side should look really quite familiar. All right, what opens up as soon as you hit home for Drawing One is our modules. The modules include our syllabus and then break down the entire 13-week semester into 4 course units that I then break down week by week. Every time you are preparing for class, maybe even the night before class, just to get a sense of where we're going, what we're doing for the week, what you should do is open up the homepage and go directly to the week that it is. So this is our first week of school. It's the 24th of August now. So I'd click on Unit 1, Week 1. All right. What that does is brings you right into the day's activity for the unit. So here we are today, 8/24, session 1. The first thing that'll tell you is whether we're going to be meeting online or in person that day. As of now, I have our semester set up to meet in person about every week. Keep in mind that could change. We have to monitor our situation in a pandemic really carefully and make sure that we're staying safe. Any changes that I make to the schedule, I will notify you via a Canvas announcement, and then I will also change that information right in the module itself so that when you open up that page, you'll get the most up-to-date information. All right. If we're having an online session, they will always be an opportunity to Zoom with me. So look for that information, and you can either click that connected tab here or click over on the left side for a Zoom meeting. There might be certain times where I instruct you to make an appointment to Zoom rather than just a drop-in session. But if that's the case, that information will be at the very top of your session page. All right. Moving down, it'll say, what should you do during class today? And then I give you a bulleted list of exactly what I want you to do. The fact that you're seeing this video means you've probably already followed some of these instructions. We're down on bullet number 2 already. But that's exactly the process I want you to do. All of the links that you see featured in red, sometimes they're red and bolded, are links that will bring you to additional information to the course. So make sure you're not just reading it every time you see a link. Do click on it. If it's a file, it also gives you an option to preview it within the same page, which can be kind of nice. And so here on today's what to do, the bullet number 3 was the syllabus. That is the very next thing I really want you to do today. Take a lot of time with the syllabus. The hybrid format is new for art classes. This is probably the first time you're really encountering a studio class set up this way. Even though a lot of that sort of syllabus information might be familiar, there's really crucial new information related to this new class format and to safety during this pandemic that you need to read. All right. So read it very carefully. I'm going to just give you an overarching overview here. The first course description introduces the class. The methodology will tell you how the class will work. It kind of describes how we're going to be partially teaching online and partially in person and how to do it safely. Next, I want you to read these very carefully. These are going to be successful completion of this course will occur through, and then they have kind of our main points that we're looking for. Responsible communication with your professor, timely and careful review of written and recorded course materials that have been published on Canvas, active participation in critiques and discussion, and thorough completion of assigned course work. This accountability for you to complete all of that work thoroughly is a lot more on you in a hybrid context. We are emphasizing participation rather than attendance this time. What that really means is it is more important that you stay engaged in the class than necessarily coming to class, particularly on in-person days. But you can't just miss. If you are feeling ill, if you have been in contact with someone with COVID, or if you have a vulnerable person living in your home and it makes it so there's a situation where you are not feeling safe to come to class in person, we can make it work so that all the content can function online, but we need to make a plan together, you and me. So if you can't come to class, the very first thing you need to do is email me. I'll get back in touch with you the same day, hopefully even during class, setting up a plan for us to meet virtually and to ensure that you have all the content that you need to continue to successfully progress in that class. All right, so again, if you're not feeling well, don't come to class, but immediately do get in contact with me. All right. Fine Arts has its own COVID-19 policies, very important for you to read. They are reiterated with a lot of the signage that we have up in our class, but it's going to be really important that you go through that carefully. One of the very important things is to make sure you have the right kind of technology or access to the right kind of technology to thrive in this course. So read through that. If you have issues, let's talk about them soon or rather than later. All right. Attendance, again, read that carefully. It really outlines how we're focusing on participation and engagement and accountability rather than necessarily attendance, as we typically do. And then we have all of our COVID-19 safety policies. If you are ever on campus, it's crucial that you are not coming while you're ill with the temperature, that you have a face mask on at all times in the building, and then that you go through the proper sanitation process that will be directed by me during class, but is also very thoroughly laid out in this syllabus. So read that carefully too. Once we'll be using both the drawing and the painting studio. And so we'll be sharing the same kind of procedures for cleaning. Those are outlined next in the syllabus. Read that carefully. There's no part I don't want you to read carefully, but just keep going. Once we move down, these tables tell you how the course breaks down in terms of earnable points and how that's broken down in our units of study. Each of those lines of the table are also links that will link you to the actual assignment too, which is kind of neat. It might only work if you download it, not in preview though. So that's one more thing. This is an alignment table that aligns the units and the learning with them to our learning outcomes for the course. So you can look at and our assessment criteria that you will see on all of the rubrics. I assess 4 areas in S200: content and context, technique, material application, and visual communication. So this links those criteria to learning outcomes for the course and also the assignments that I've implemented to meet those learning goals. So that's a really helpful table. Go ahead and look through it. It'll learn a lot about what we're doing. My grade breakdown comes down next, followed by the campus-wide information for conduct, cheating, following procedures and protocol. that keeps us their learning environment safe. Get to know that process. If you have any questions, I will happily answer them as well. All right, finally, I get to our material list. As a part of your course fees, you actually purchased a pre-made kit for this class, which is pretty great. It includes, we've tried to thoughtfully include everything you will need for the semester, and I will also be divvying out individualized supplies to share with you that you can take home, so that you're always ready for class, regardless of if you're at home or if you are at school. As much as possible, you will each get your own individual drawer to store your work and supplies, but as much as possible, we're encouraging you to take your materials home each time, because should you get sick or need to quarantine, we want you to be able to continue to successfully progress through the class, and having the right stuff is essential. All right. We'll be talking more about those materials and our safety procedures and content in our first in-person meeting, which is on Wednesday. And they'll also be giving you the kits at that time. So read the syllabus. I've given you an overview of all the good stuff in there, but take time yourself, come up with questions. I'm happy to answer them via Zoom, email, or in person on Wednesday. All right. Let's keep going. The next thing I want you to do today is just sort of meander through the unit pages. Let me go ahead and click one of these links. It brings us back to modules. And like I said, that first page under each unit does give you the overview. I have actually put all of the content for the entire semester into each module. So you'll get a really comprehensive look at what we are doing for the entire semester. So as a next thing to do today, I just highly encourage you visit each of those unit pages, read the overview, and just get kind of a broad sense of how we'll be learning this semester, and what you'll be doing. All right, let's go back to today's module. Okay, the last thing that I'm having you doing during class today is I would like you to complete a practice discussion activity. What I'd like you to, well, you can read through it, but this is a process that'll introduce you to using the discussion board, which we do a lot as a context to view each other's work, and as a critique context from time to time in this class. And it also gives you a task to upload your very first drawing, which is another thing you'll do a lot of in this class. So complete this during class today. Hopefully it's kind of a fun activity. And then the last thing that you'll see in each module is your homework assignment. So this assignment, just so we are able to social distance, and so you can understand me clearly while I'm wearing my mask, we're trying to limit the amount of in-person kind of lecturing we do. So your primary homework objective between now and Wednesday is to go through the course materials that will prep you to get started on our first unit on Monday. I have the overview of the assignment. This video is a video PowerPoint that introduces the assignment and then introduces artists, both student artists and professional contemporary artists who are working along the same lines and thinking about the same themes as our first unit. hopefully this inspires you and helps you understand what we're doing. And then finally, I have a procedure handout for the process that we will be beginning on Wednesday. So it has both written information supplemented with a video demonstration, and you can click the link on YouTube. I'm not going to right now, or you'll get simultaneous videos, which will just be too trippy, and at least it'll confuse me. But all of these are live active YouTube links. You can open them up, view them in Canvas, or take it out to that browser. And then I've also created some illustrations to further demonstrate that process for you. So we will be starting that in class. I do actually have easels that I will be sending home with you as well, so that we can do this observational unit both at home and at school this time. So I'll be giving you those on Wednesday as well. It's one of my favorite units. All of the videos in total for that homework are going to take you at least an hour to watch, so plan accordingly so that you do come very prepared on Wednesday to just be getting right to drawing. And it'll allow us to work in a more sort of individualized way with our time on Wednesday's class too. All right. I think, oh, the last thing in your preparation for coming to campus on Wednesdays, I just want to remind you, so make sure that you're feeling well before you come to class. If you're not feeling well or have been exposed to COVID, email me. We'll come up with an alternative plan, but don't come to school. All right. If you are feeling well or ready to come to class, make sure that you are wearing a mask before you enter the building and for the entire time that you're there. We also want to be very careful to maintain 6 feet social distance. At all times, I will have special easel stands set up and taped off, so it's really clear kind of where your space is. We've also limited class sizes so that all of you will have actually much more than 6 feet around you at all times when you're in our classroom. And then the other thing just to really note is immediately when you come in, wash your hands. I'll give you instructions for disinfecting materials to make sure you're safe that way, and giving you your own personal kit. And then we can't allow food or drink in the Nabu building premises anywhere. The only places that you can eat and drink are going to be in the cafeteria or outside in the outdoors. I will be giving you plenty of time for breaks and opportunities to kind of manage that accordingly, but I just wanted to give you a heads up. All right. I think that's about all I have. If you do keep scrolling, you'll see that the overview for our Wednesday session is here too. I highly recommend you review that as well before coming to class. I think that's it. I can't wait to meet all of you and to work and draw with you this semester. See you later. Bye.